Greetings, feet finders and fantasizers, to another new piece of content in which we are going now with video. You can see our faces and not just our voices. Although if you can see voices, you should probably find some help. Anyways, we're trying something new with a new TTRPG called Indominant, in which you get to play a comic-based superhero on your tabletop. Yeah. And I'm here with my friends once again, starting on in whoever wants to start to introduce themselves.
Hello, my name is Aaron. I'm playing a character. Are we introducing?
Yeah.
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 Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm playing
Dude.
Embryo.
Emery Gus. That's my name. Emery Gus, aka Swolerus.
I never thought of his name if you mentioned that name before.
It never came up.
I just imagine now he looks like Jamie from Mythbusters, but like swole. So you have the handlebar mustache that makes you a walrus.
Jamie was swole. Like he did a one-arm pull-up and cut his own cord.
It's true. I remember that.
He's a stout dude. Hello, I'm Manny. I'm playing Hot Rod, otherwise known as Rodney Zuko. I'm a big robot man. I turned to a robot because I mutated with my car. 58 Plymouth Fury. Now I'm a big car person, literally. Hey. I look like a greaser, but a robot.
You sound like when Jimmy Neutron went cool.
Can't deal with the Hot Rod style.
Are you an automatic or a manual? And if you're a manual, how do you shift gears?
Well, he's obviously a manual because he is a manual.
Yes, but I wasn't gonna make the joke, but okay, glad you did. So yes, technically, before the transformation, he was indeed a manual, but now that he operates himself, it would technically be an automatic.
Oh, I don't know if that's a good answer.
He's a very smart car.
The smartest car.
Although you have the electric door handles like Tesla's.
No. Well, I mean, technically he can't open himself up. It's like, hey, get in the car. It's like, come with me if you want to live, eh?
It's like a Cybertruck that works.
Zing.
Anyways, moving on.
I'm Sage, and I'm playing Plasma Snake. A spy with fire powers.
I am Alex. I am going to be Dick Bird, a little alien man.
From Area 51? Huh? From Area 51?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
From the IRS.
Oh.
Yeah. Kind of.
So that's where all our taxpayer money's going to.
It's a real problem.
And I am Gunther, and I will be what Indominant is called the comic editor. And we'll proceed with our heroes being at their super place, in which they are now currently in their downtime between supers activities. And so we'll go ahead and start with Emery.
Oh boy.
What is Emery doing?
Oh,
And how is he doing it with his power?
How is he doing it with his power? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good question.
Do superheroes have to pay income tax?
See, that's assuming you have an income.
Yeah, you would have passive. Wait, no, you're retired, so aren't you living off Social Security?
Oh, yeah. I have that sweet government pension.
All the questions are answered.
What
is Emery doing, and describe how he's using his power to do it.
Yeah. So you know how when you're mopping floors as a business, right? You got like those big buckets of mop water. You know how heavy those things can get?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you overfill them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like picking it up with his pinky toe, so he can take it up the stairs.
With his
Pinky toe?
pinky toe.
So you're doing like hops
He's like,
up the...
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is he doing with his arms?
He's holding the mops. He's mopping the stairs. It's like
Oh, okay.
And then he's like
You're,
going
you're pulling
backwards.
some like ooh shit or something like that.
Hey, it's got to get done.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you're mopping the stairs.
Yeah.
You know, this is what you do. Government doesn't pay cleaners
No.
to help you out, even
Well-
though they totally do. But it's not to your standard.
It's not to
Emery's
my
got a much more deeper standard into how everything should be cleaned.
Exactly. It's got to be.
Been around for too long for all this dust to be keep collecting in the crevices.
These dang sonnies.
These Shunny's foot up in the air
right.
holding the.
I'm old as hell. I probably should have mentioned that. I got a long gray beard. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So you're mopping the stairs.
Mopping the stairs.
Your mop water is starting to get a little too dirty.
A little too dirty.
A little too dirty.
Too dirty.
Yeah.
Well,
You're only halfway done. What are you
that's
gonna do?
that's really unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. I can't possibly mop the stairs with dirty mop water.
No, then you just spread the whole dirt further around all over the place. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah, no, it's not good at all. Am I near a window?
Do you like odds or evens?
I usually go odds. Let's go evens this time.
Yes, you're by a window.
You look so worried.
What are you doing with your mop bucket by a window, nearby
I'm
window?
gonna open the window.
Okay.
I'm just gonna dump the water out.
Oh, Cheryl, it's a lovely day to go walking out with us and our newborn child. Yes, dear. I hope nothing terrible rains down from the sky.
Daddy, I really love this white Pomeranian you got me. She's so clean.
Yes, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that we just came back from the dry cleaners.
Yeah, and after having that hospital visit where Mommy had a immunity disease, man, if anything got on her, she'd be sick as heck.
Oh, look, that bottle, that bucket of water just fell on the side of the road.
Oh.
Good thing that didn't hit us.
Honey. So yeah, you emptied your mop bucket out the window. It's now empty of
Dirty brown water.
Dirty brown water.
There's no more dirty brown water.
Usually this happens later in the episode.
Yeah.
successfully got Aaron to cry in the session. There we go.
I'm gonna go to the nearest washroom and just fill it up and keep going.
Okay. Are you still holding the mop bucket with your pinky toe?
No, I'll grab it with my hand.
Oh, okay.
But it'll be like really easy. Not only because it's now empty, but when I bring it back and it's completely filled with water, it's like whatever for me.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're the pinky toe.
So you go back to the washroom.
my pinky finger.
Who of these people do you meet along the way?
Who do I meet on
Yeah,
the way?
along the supers. Yeah. No, pick one.
Pick one?
Yeah.
Oh,
Who do you run into?
Alex.
Yes.
Oh, hello there. Hi.
Hello.
Don't
I
worry.
go downstairs.
Oh, it's wet. Be careful.
I just float over the stairs.
Back in my day, we didn't have any floaty powers. Nobody had powers, but that's beside the point.
So, Dick Bird,
Yes.
you float up the stairs effortlessly.
Wait, am I going down or up?
You're going.
You said down.
Okay, I go down. Yeah. My goal was to be on the first floor.
Oh, okay. You're going down the stairs then.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah. You're floating down the stairs. Emery has told you that he just mopped, and you're like, whatever.
Okay. And I just kind of levitate.
Yep. You just pick yourself up with your psychic powers and.
Yep, and just
Where are you headed?
to the kitchen.
You're headed to the kitchen.
Yes.
What are you going to do at the kitchen?
I am going to open up the fridge and I am going to grab the burgers that I pre-made the patties for, and I'm going to gather all the ingredients and start grabbing them, holding some up with telekinesis again, and start heading out the door with them.
Okay. Can you make me a? We'll go with cunning.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't do anything chat-worthy.
It's fine.
It's fine.
We gotta laugh at it.
Oh, we got a great.
9.
9?
9.
You know that cooking takes a lot more concentration out of you than floating downstairs or even just collecting ingredients. You're trying to do this as efficiently as possible. You open up the fridge, you pull out some ingredients with your mind.
Yeah.
You get to the kitchen and you're trying to do multiple things at once. A couple of things kind of stop midair because you're having to stop for a moment to, knead the patty with some seasoning
Oh no,
and
I got
stuff.
them pre-made, like and all that.
Oh, it's already pre-made?
Yeah, they're pre-made. The patties are pre-made. I'm just grabbing the seasoning and I'm trying to chop like vegetables and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so trying not to cut your hands. A couple things are floating in the air, stuck, waiting for you to give the, mental command of like pour here, pour there. So it takes a little bit longer than you would have normally liked, but you got your pre-made patties and veggies ready.
Yeah.
Where you headed?
Outside to the patio.
You head outside to the patio. You pass by the same set of stairs, half mopped. Emery's come out with a fresh bucket, and you notice a bird at the window that Emery left open.
Ah. Hello.
Are you trying to communicate
I
with
just
the
say
bird?
hi to the bird. No, just say it
Okay.
in English.
You just pass by. Hello.
Hello.
The bird kind of looks at you, turns around, and then flies off.
Pooped inside.
Yep. Jesus. Right on the stairs. Because the window is left open.
That is unsanitary.
When do I get there?
Passes by. You arrived just now.
Just now?
Yeah.
Dick, you can't shit on the floor. We've talked about this.
We've talked about this. Mine are green, not white.
Check my glasses. I can't tell, Sonny.
Dick Bird, you forget, he's colorblind. He can't tell the difference. Everything's shades of gray.
It was from a bird. The window was open.
Yeah, I left it open.
Okay.
Don't shit on the floor.
I'm looking at the pants I'm wearing because I am very clearly wearing like the same like I'm clearly wearing like trousers and all that, like just actual kind of nice dress pants. Like, okay.
Your slacks remain unsoiled.
Yeah, slacks.
And you just accept the inevitable.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Emery's gonna think I'm just running around shitting on floors.
As old men do.
As old men do.
I'm not gonna get worked up about it.
So where are you headed now?
Patio. I have the grill actually warmed up already.
Okay, yeah, you had the grill preheated,
Yeah, or lit my
ready to
charcoal
go.
and all that, dumped it in there.
You run into one of the other supers.
Yeah.
Which one?
I run into Plasma Snake. That's how the grill got lit.
So Dick Bird, you run into Plasma Snake, who was already there,
Yeah.
helping you warm up the grill. Firepower is convenient.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm starting up and heating the charcoal on the grill until it's stark hot white. Once it's nice and hot, I pull out a cigarette and start and light it up.
Nice.
Yep. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out.
Perfect. You've completely consumed the cigarette in 2 puffs.
Pull out another one. I'm a chain smoker.
Damn.
I go through like 2 packs a day.
It's 'cause the heat in your body keeps getting rid of all the cool chemicals that are supposed to make you feel good. You don't understand why. Anyways,
Exactly.
Thank you. Can I have one?
Sure.
Thank you. Dip will light one up and start telepathically putting patties on grill.
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You light one up. You take your type of puffs because it's not quite.
Yeah.
These are human sticks. They're meant for
Yeah.
human consumption, but you make do as the patties go on the grill.
Yeah, like Dick is like 100. Is like not even 100 pounds. He's like 80 pounds soaking wet, so he's just absolutely zooted in 2 puffs.
You take a light, like, not even smoke comes out, and you're like, that's the good shit. barely like a smolder on the cigarette.
Yeah, he's got like he puts his little stepstool in front of the grill and just climbs up there.
Does that affect how your mind works now? Are you like now? Is everything like jittery?
Well,
Or are you just like just fucking
Dick
yeeting
Bird
patties?
has done this enough times that he's gonna draw this cigarette the correct way and not, put himself into a cardiac arrest from the pure stimulant.
He lived through the 70s. Chain smoking is just like an existence for him.
It's just a thing.
If anything, that was the air type of Earth. He just assumed that was what air.
He just thought that was the
breathed
atmosphere.
like.
Like, when we got the Clean Air Act in the 2000s, he was like, what? I can breathe this stuff?
Why am I so sluggish? I have a headache. What do you do? What do you mean you have a headache? The air is clean now. I don't know.
Withdrawals.
Plasma Snake.
Huh.
What are you doing now?
I'm on my 5th cigarette.
Nice. You're out of cigarettes.
I'm off to get more cigarettes.
All right. You go out.
Careful, we don't get resupplied for another month.
I'm gonna go get cigarettes.
Okay. Make
You left the game.
Oh,
Go cigarettes and
come
milk.
back.
Gonna get some cigarettes and milk.
Sage never came back.
See you guys.
Plasma Steak was at that store the entire next 3 sessions.
Wait, hold on. Where's your water bottle? Leave it in your place.
Oh.
Goodbye.
No.
So long.
Ding dong. Hi, my dad's Plasma Snake. I'm looking for him.
I'm not here.
Stealth check.
Goes invisible. Pull down the night vision goggles in broad daylight. Going dark.
You come back at the end of the session after everything's already done. Kept you waiting, huh?
Anyways, you go to the storage closet where they keep all the supplies, including your cigarette resupply. Those taxpayer money's got to go somewhere, right? Got to spend it all. You go down the stairs. You notice that Emery's continuing to mop the stairs.
I'm really going at the bird poop spot. Like, really trying to clean it up.
I'm drying each step I take.
Walk molds.
Yeah. Steam starts filling up the staircase.
Oh, wait, that's super helpful. But my vision's getting. Oh my god, it's my glaucoma. It's coming back. Oh no.
You're wearing glasses? You're in a big, like
I am wearing glasses.
the big, like,
So they're all just fogging up.
yeah.
Jar.
Continuing back towards Dick Bird.
Okay.
Yeah.
Towards the supply closet. You're going away from Dick Bird.
Oh, okay. I thought I already got my cigarettes.
No.
Oh.
No, you're headed towards
getting
the
my
supply
cigarettes.
closet. Make a sense check now that you're here at the storage area. And they hold all the miscellaneous crap, and you guys don't necessarily need in your spaces.
4.
4. You just can't find any. You don't know where they are. You swear they were right here. You saw the delivery person drop it right there. You even scolded him for putting it in the wrong place, and you told him exactly where you needed to have it put. It's not there.
Dude, where's my smokes?
Where's my pen? Bro, I swear to God, where's my pen? I saw you holding it! I continue looking for the cigarettes.
You just can't find them. They're not here in the storage area.
I'm going to the convenience store.
You leave. The
Both of you just
Plasma
assume
Snake really is going out for
No,
cigarettes.
I go to the garage and I tell Hot Rod, I need a ride to the store. Now.
Okay. So I guess this is that transition to me then. All right. Well, first off, what I was doing before being in the garage. So our superhero space also has a big ass garage for a 10-foot tall chromid robot man that also has a track out back. So not only was I driving on there, but I was also basically doing some training, kind of like car parkour, where I'd be going from vehicle mode to humanoid mode, vehicle, humanoid, and just like basically jumping and leaping over various obstacles and stuff like that while on the track.
Imagining just some like Optimus Prime
Exactly.
like, parkour
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. Just yeet. Yep, exactly. And after working up a good oily sweat, I head back into the main hangar of the garage, sit in a big ass custom barber chair, for lack of a better word, lean back, put a couple of industrial floor buffers on my eyes, just lean back and I'm just there when you find me.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Would you ever ask Emery to help you clean hard to reach places? Do we know each other like that?
Has he ever vacuumed your interior?
You know what? In car mode, yes. Humanoid mode, probably.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Okay. That's word. Yeah.
Like,
I need to clean your innards.
like yes.
Transform right now.
Like yes, you can clean my carpet. I let you back in my trunk.
He's seen the spare tire, as it were.
Yes,
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna get in there real good.
Everyone has seen the spare tire. And yeah, that's where you'll find me. I'm God. And you'll just hear a soft idle engine when you come in to say all that.
Hot Rod, I need to go to the store. I'm out of smokes. Hot Rod, go up to him. Start knocking on the middle. Hot Rod.
Huh?
Smokes.
I mean, I don't want to burn out my tires. I just got these changed. I just got these changed. I got
No.
to peel out right now.
I need to go to the store. I'm out of smokes.
Oh, right, because I'm the only actual guy in this thing. I am the Supermobile. You're not gonna call yourself a Lifed?
No.
Okay, I guess I could go for a quick cruise rather than having to do some kind of all that car stuff.
Yeah, you need a cool down.
Yeah, let's do that. And then I'll, the garage will open up, and I'll just in the car mode, and just pop open the doors. Hop on in.
Quick 2 seconds adventure. Come on.
Yeah. I just turn on the radio. Which convenience store are we going to again?
The stop and eat.
Okay. The one on 5th or the one on 7th?
The one closest.
But they're both pretty close. I mean, it's probably like 0.1 of a mile
The
difference.
one
but-
on 5th.
Okay, sure, let's do that. There's construction. Wait, there's construction on that one.
The 7th.
You just want, okay. There's construction on
to
this one too.
the stop and eat at 7th Street. Please make a right. Please make a right. Please make a U-turn.
Do you have your
U-turn.
phone's GPS
Please make a
on?
U-turn.
Hold on, I'm
Please
putting
make
in
a
the
U-turn.
address right now.
Turn right here.
No, don't turn
You
on
have
the.
missed
I
your
am
stop
the
sign.
GPS.
You just missed your stop sign.
Turn it on.
The driving speed here is 45 miles per hour.
You can't just exit out of the app. You gotta press the X button to cancel the directions.
I'm tired of this. I need my smoke. I just wanted my cigarettes.
He's like, okay, we're here.
Okay, wait here.
Can you spot me like $7 so I can also use the attached car wash?
Yes.
Thanks.
Here. And I hand him a couple of dollars. And I go inside and I buy my Bow Cam cigarette.
Camel cigarettes.
No, rewind. Rewind. Oh, I know.
Normally, we were gonna run with it.
We should keep that. We should bleep it.
We're sponsored right now.
I gotta push it in a couple of other areas.
Sorry.
Maybe Sahara cigarettes if you want to. I don't
Yes, Sahara cigarettes.
That sounds
know. Or
good.
Dune cigarettes.
Dude.
That's pretty good too.
And
Damn it.
when you smoke it, your eyes turn blue and you're like, suddenly you have psychic powers everywhere. You can sense everything.
Yeah.
The tobacco must flow.
I
Would
go
you like the
inside.
Bene Gesserit flavor or the Lisan Al Gaib?
What did you just say to me?
Lisan al-Gaib.
As it is written, Lisan Al Gaib.
He said you're a weeb.
You must not smoke.
I
Smoke is the
understand.
mind killer.
I get it.
Right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Gosh.
I go inside and I
Yeah.
grab myself a pack of Sahara cigarettes, and I pay for it.
That'll be $18.89.
I throw a $20 bill on the counter. I take a cigarette, walk outside, and immediately light it up.
Okay. Yeah.
You hear whispers, Lisan al-Gaib.
Okay, we're good.
They only take a take a special card. They don't do cash.
Oh,
You good?
Cool.
You done?
cool.
Okay. All right. If you're gonna smoke, just that. Wait, no. This is a cop from the '50s. Yeah, of course it has an ashtray. Okay, that's fine. You can smoke in here.
Roll your windows down.
Yeah, just roll the window down. Don't want that smell getting in here. I just sprayed myself. Emery came in here and sprayed a scent all over the place. But, no. All right, let's get back. I think I know how to avoid all the traffic area, all the construction traffic areas. And we'll drive back to the base.
Come back to the base.
Back to the base.
Pull in, just once you get out, either untransform with you inside, or whenever you step outside, and then yeah. All right,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get back to my preening treatment, and I'll try and get a little pine tree scent, put on my nose, go back to the buffers in the chair.
Thanks, Hot Rod.
Don't mention it. Hey.
Back to the burgers.
You head back to Dick Bird. You pass by Emery, who's about to finish up mopping up the stairs at this point. He's doing his typical routine of balancing the mop bucket with his pinky toe behind him as he's mopping and whistling, getting it squeaky clean. And Dick Bird's basically done with his burgers. Cooking.
Yeah.
He's done cooking with his burgers.
Yeah. I'm gonna put the. I have the cheese on them. I'm putting them on the plate. Go at your back. Keep an eye on these for a second. Don't let birds in there. Dick is gonna put his last burger on the plate. Walk 10 feet to the right of the grill and open up a little storage shed that is just absolutely stacked to the top with cartons of cigarettes.
The finished cigarette butt drops from my mouth.
He's gonna go in there and grab a pack.
It's beautiful.
Come back. Pick up his tray of burgers and walk inside.
Can I have one?
I'll just hand you like the pack. I took one. We'll go inside.
Great.
Okay. You two head inside. Emery's done mopping up the stairs. You smell burgers in the air.
Oh, I'll shut the window.
Yeah? You shut the window.
Nobody else gets to smell these delicious burgers. No one. And I'll go find the burgers. I'll follow the scent.
Okay.
He floats through the.
Yeah, like a cartoon.
He doesn't have psychic powers. He just
His nose it's just with the sheer strength of desire for burgers, floats himself towards the burgers.
Lex is so hard he floats.
He's doing that weird walk where it looks like he's basically like floating. Emery appears. He wants the burgers.
I'm gonna sit them on the counter. Gonna get out my buns and just build myself one and sit down and eat it. Yeah, just gonna put the patty on it. I toasted my buns, spread some mayonnaise on, put the patty on there. It's already got cheese on it. Put some onion on there.
Do you do all this telepathically, or is this a hands-on?
Oh,
thing?
he actually does his hands-on for the most part.
Yeah, you gotta have the tactile
Yeah.
feel of the individual ingredients.
Oh, he's just lazy sometimes. He doesn't want to do it.
as you pick up to take a bite of this really well prepared, garnished, seasoned, cooked burger. Emery just blasts into the kitchen.
And then I'll be like, I'll get really casual. Just.
Don't mind me, I'm just coming in for some orange juice.
Okay, there are burgers on the counter. I made some for everybody.
I mean, oh, that's lovely of you. I will definitely go ahead and take part in that delicious.
And I'll just run to the counter.
Run to the counter. You grab a burger.
I quickly put it together. All the fixins. Da-da-da-da-da.
Shaggy style. Just
No, I'm not ridiculous. I'm still just an old man. But I will do triple meat.
As it should be.
No.
No.
I will make sure there's enough for everybody before I do triple meat.
How many burgers did you cook?
I'll be respectful.
At least 8.
There's 4 of us.
Yeah, there's 4 of us. I would have made 2.
I would not do triple meat. I'd have the decency to think there's only enough for everybody to have 2. I would have that decency. But I will get a fuck ton of cheese out of the fridge. And I will cook an egg and put an egg on top of it.
Okay. Yeah, you go through all this effort, all this trouble to make
Yep.
your perfect burger. It's delicious.
No.
It smells so good.
could one cook eggs on Plasma Snake's abs?
They would probably burn
Yeah.
very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, they would probably go black and smell like really bad, but like you could do it.
Pan spray. Just flash cook.
I feel like I'd sooner do it on your engine.
It's kind of like putting a pan on top of lava and then trying to cook an egg. I would imagine.
Just gotta do it real fast. Just,
Like- like you're just getting done with like your exercise on the rack, and I come out with like some tin foil, put it on your engine, and just.
There's a great video about that. But anyways, takes way too long for that to happen.
I melt with satisfaction.
Melt with satisfaction from a good eat. And then you hear it. The alarm's going off. You hear it over the intercom. Guys, Super Pals, there's trouble. Come to the meeting room.
Who's that?
I'm only halfway into this thing, right?
Yeah. Are you going? Are you just sitting there eating?
Kind of like, yeah.
You'd
Do I
see
eat this
Emery
thing?
get up with his burger, just put it on a plate and go.
Same.
I follow, yeah.
I slap patty on bun, slap some onions on there, and I'm walking and eating.
Ooh.
Fucking
I go ultra intelligent. I go ultra intelligent. That's right, I can do this. I hold the plate. I just use my psychic mind powers to levitate the burger into my face and take a bite occasionally.
Yes, that is the super intelligent manner instead of just floating the burger. Or even just yourself.
Yeah.
Just continue to eat.
Yeah.
He's being mindful about it because he has a plate.
You could just stay in like a lounging position and
I
just,
just hold my, I have to walk, so just like, I can only carry so much this way, so I have to walk, so I'm holding my plate with 2 hands, so that I can just,
I feel like it'd be like one of those situations where like somebody else is trying to feed you in a car. Where it's like,
huh.
Yeah, you get a little waddle for being so short.
Yeah.
Burger.
it's not like
Because I have tiny hand, I have like tiny hands in this character form.
Would that be a skill check?
Let's see.
Hot Rod. The alarm's going off. What are you doing?
I instinctively reached for an alarm clock and went, "Oh right, I'm not a tiny man anymore." Okay. And I'll take off
You
the
reach
thing.
over and you smash the boombox next to you.
Like, oh no, I got that custom built. Oh no, it's gonna cost me money. Or unless I can repair it myself. I'll try to repair it myself later. And I'll take off the buffers, turn them off, put them away. All right, where was that meeting room again? And who was that little voice again? Weird. All right, I'm gonna go try to find the meeting room.
You can make a knowledge check if you want.
Yeah. 6.
Oh my gosh, these are the rolls.
Yep.
This is how it's
gonna go,
going, man.
Yep.
Yeah, after your intense, ride through training, and then your pamper phase, and then being interrupted in your pamper phase, go get milk and cigarettes, plasma snake, and then coming back and trying to pamper yourself again. The sudden wake up after taking a nap from falling asleep from your pamper phase. You just can't remember. The voice doesn't seem recognizable to you.
You know that feeling when like you fall asleep
And
for like a half an hour?
But it feels like you woke up a year later.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
And you're like, you can't like remember your name.
Yep. Don't know when I am.
Yeah.
All right, cool. And I'm gonna go and try and find the meeting room that has a balcony because I can't fit in the meeting room. And I'll just peek in through the window.
There's like a special series of hallways that are
Okay.
your size.
Okay, cool. I go through my special hole that was made for me.
It's just a cutout. That's just perfectly your size, your shape.
Shifts his wheels down so they're like wheelies at his heels and just.
This is a Futurama bit in here somewhere.
Hey guys, I heard that I heard the alarm go off. Who the heck is it?
You go into the meeting room, and there's a small little robot person that like manages a whole bunch of things, and he's freaking out. He's like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my lord, no, okay, super pals.
Hey.
What's the dealio, little man?
Emery, have you forgotten my name again?
No.
Where is the fire?
The fire, according to our oracle systems that you built, which thank you, you built this for us. The megalomaniac has planted bombs all over Monument City.
Not again.
That's a problem, right? That's a bad thing, right?
That is not good.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, oh no! It's terrible.
Oh dang, that ain't cool, Daddy-o.
Oh, someone should do something about that. Oh, wait! Oh, that's me. Oh, yeah, let's go.
Yeah, that's us.
That's right, Swolrus. That's your job.
That's my job. I'm Swollerus.
Good job, buddy.
Do we know where Megalomaniac is?
He seems to be potentially one of a couple of places. The oracle systems it says he's planted smart bombs all over the place.
Okay, upload that into my personal GPS because it's better than the one on everyone else's phone.
That's just because you've lived here for so long.
Yeah, exactly.
Like me.
Exactly.
We're old.
Is there a map
I'm
of
young
the-
enough.
Is there a map of places he apparently planted bombs?
Your assistive robot beta will launch the holographic map at the center of this meeting room, and you'll get a nice holographic 3D display of Monument City.
Okay.
And he'll hit another button, and you'll see a bunch of red dots appear. Based on their locations, it looks like these potential smart bomb locations are the Federal Government Bureau of Civilian Cooperation, the Monument City Monument College University, the Grand Theater of the Grand Forefathers, Monument City Stadium Sports Ball Arena, the
I love that actually, that's good.
the Cyber Server Data Storage Data Service Center, St. Abigail's Old People's Medical Hospital, Doug's Place, Monument City's Historic Discovery Museum of Natural History, and potentially the Super Hall of Superheroes, which is not the base, ironically.
What?
Yeah,
Was it like- it's
you
like a
guys have your
museum?
own home base. This was the museum dedicated
Okay.
to the supers of the super pals and all their super heroics put into a super museum.
Which ironically is like 3 miles away.
Yeah,
So are they in a circle or are they in a line?
Or
they're kind
Scattered.
of all over the place.
gonna take a finger, a little USB port's gonna pop out of it. Gonna put it into the USB port connecting to the holo table and just shit. Zzz.
Make a technology roll.
Okay.
Can you describe that? Because your finger's behind.
Oh right. Well, I mean, we're on camera, so I can do that. But first, technology
Well,
check.
yeah, but your finger was behind
yes,
your
yes.
computer.
Yes.
I can
So-
see it just fine.
You pop out a USB port, USB-Z out of your finger. You put it in it to get stuck.
Shit.
You turn.
There we go.
Nope.
Oh.
Nope. Hold on. You
Wait,
gotta turn
seriously?
it.
Shit. Fuck. Why did you build like this? Why did you build your
Make a technology
Oracle
roll.
technology like this? No, I actually have good technology because I'm a robot. Hold on. 10.
It only takes you 3 180-degree turns to finally get it into the port.
Why did you build the Oracle machine like this? Dick?
It turns out we got more money that way.
Was it like we couldn't upgrade to USB-C?
Oh, no, when I was with the government and we were designing USB-Z, we decided that, just having a even surface on either side was not profitable.
That makes perfect sense.
Damn.
Because of
Causing-
the macro hard pair merger.
Causing inefficiencies actually led to a 20% longer work day and thus more government spending.
I'm learning horrifying things about the government you work for.
We.
Oh right, we're not a privately funded sector, are we?
No.
Okay, I think I got it in. Hold on, it's gonna take about a minute.
Huh. That's what I usually tell them too.
So how are those burgers you guys were cooking, I guess? I can kind of smell the chocolate off all of you.
Well, I walk slower than all of you, so I'm just gonna.
I gotta be the one to
walking.
drive, though. I gotta
Yeah,
take
but
you
I'll
all.
meet you outside.
Probably still eating mine because I'm a small
30%.
person eating.
30%.
Probably still munching on mine because I'm a small person with a rather large burger.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you guys can finish your food while this is uploaded. It's a big map.
50%.
It is good.
I already ate mine and there's ketchup
you-
all over my mouth.
Why do you not just have a map already? Like,
60%.
you should be downloading basically just an Excel sheet.
Because we discovered that if we
It's
actually
not what he asked for.
we discovered that by throttling the connection, we increased the workday by 10%.
80%.
I also I was thinking about uploading a map to my database, to my personal brain head. But I forgot to. I just kept forgetting.
Transfer failed.
Yeah.
No, it's just staying at 99% for like another minute.
USB cannot be detected.
I'll just push even harder.
All right.
I'll just jiggle. Just
100%.
okay. All right. Now let's get it. Now let's roll out.
Didn't eject, file corrupted.
Oh, which I didn't eject it properly.
Hi, Rod. Let me just Wi-Fi it down directly to your brain.
Oh right, I installed Bluetooth into myself, didn't I?
File
Okay.
transfer. Go. And we're done.
Okay, cool. I see everything. I know all the streets now.
Oh my
I can also tell which ones are currently under a lot of construction, making our commute a little bit easier.
Wait,
Wait,
what
what
year
time
is
is
it
it?
again?
It's not.
Huh?
What year is it? I want to know how inefficient we're being.
We're gonna go with 2893 because that's the first number that comes to my head.
All right. Remember later, we have to fax where we're going over to the bureaucracy.
I didn't install a fax machine myself, so you can take care of that, G-man. But what time is it actually? Because I want to know if it's rush hour right now. That might affect the commute a little bit more.
Does your GPS not tell you?
I will open
Oh wait, I have an internal clock in me.
I will open up a little locker and I will put it on a bulletproof vest over my IRS. Like Dick is dressed like an IRS agent, and he's gonna put on a little bulletproof vest and grab a one of those rooftop like sirens detectives have for putting on their roofs. One of those little portable handheld sirens that they can hide away. We have this.
Well, I mean, rush hour is still rush hour. I'm gonna have to drive on the sidewalk if that's the case.
That's okay.
Don't know how I feel about that, but all right. You say so. Okay, and I'll get into car mode, pop open my doors. All right, hop in. Let's roll out.
Hopping in.
I will. It's a bench seat, and Dick will climb into the middle.
Climbs over
Specialized
me.
car seat waiting for you.
Yes.
Safety first.
Yep.
I buckle him in. Lift up your arm. Lift them up.
No.
Take off the vest. It's not safe.
You gotta loosen up the strap a bit.
Is that how you?
He can't wear his bulletproof vest in the,
No, but
in the
that's
car
why you,
seat.
but
It's
it's
dangerous.
fine. You gotta,
No, it's dangerous.
as
He
long
has
as
to
you can
take
get
it
the,
up.
as long as you can get the belt over the vest,
Yeah,
you should
no.
be fine.
You don't
Just
even
tighten it.
you don't even need seatbelts.
I mean, you probably should wear seatbelts. It's an old car, but it ain't that old.
I don't even wear seatbelts here.
Take it off.
No.
I mean, that's how I had to. That's how I had to make sure. Even though this thing got labeled as a classic vehicle, I still needed to make sure it had all the proper safety features.
You don't have to use them though. I just realized we're encouraging
use your
people to
seatbelts.
smoke and not wear seatbelts. You are a very bad influence.
Please use your seatbelts for your safety.
Guys, this
But
is not.
it's
This
so
is not
cool.
the kind of things we need to be telling the kids at next week's meet a hero elementary school thing in the middle.
Don't copy these, you idiots.
Exactly. Don't tell them that you gotta smoke 2 packs a day and not wear your seatbelt. Come on, we've been over this already.
There's one side of the table where it's 2 dads, and there's another side of the table where it's 2 kids. And there's just no winning here.
Now let's go. I just shampooed the thing. Don't put any crumbs in it.
It's well, that's why I've got the little. That's why I got the little pine needle thing, my pine tree thing hanging off the rear view. Plasma smoked in here earlier.
It's gross.
But he had
That's
the
gonna stick in your
he
upholstery.
had the cigarette outside the window, so the entire time, so it was kind of okay.
It's gonna stick in the upholstery. I'm gonna have to go. I gotta get one of those de-smoke. You know, it's at the home, the store.
We're having this conversation while
Would you
we're
be-
driving.
Would you be
Yes.
quiet? I am trying to pay off another credit card that I maxed out.
What did you buy? That requires a max.
Who's
And that
driving?
that was the moment.
I'm driving. Nobody else is.
So you are driving.
Yeah, I am auto driving.
Make me a knowledge check, and then also roll me a d10.
Okay. Knowledge.
Or a d8, sorry, d8.
10 and D8. Okay. Do I get advantage because of a map?
Yeah.
Okay. 10.
Okay.
And
What'd you roll
then-
me?
Totally
which one?
average.
D8.
D8.
The D8. Unless there's a specific location that you have in mind.
Whichever's closest, I suppose.
You're gonna drive off,
Okay.
and you're gonna immediately head to the Monument City Monument College University.
All right, we made it to the Monument City College Monument University. Is there any kind of like police activity going on?
No.
Okay, so hey, can somebody call Beta? Well, no, I think I can call Beta. I'm gonna try and call Beta.
Okay.
Hello, Hot Rod, it's me, Beta.
Hey, Beta, do the authorities know yet about these smart bombs from Megalomania?
Oh no! You see, there was a big police promotional going on, and they're all out on this convention. It's a big pee-pee. And unfortunately, it's gonna be a real long one. It's gonna be really hard to get through to them. I'm sorry, Super Pals, you're on your own.
You guys all heard that too,
that.
right?
I hate
So we
that.
have to beat him off by
hate that.
ourselves.
I got the. I got the broad strokes.
Sorry.
Beta, do you know if Megalomania went to this college, maybe?
Give me a moment, hold on.
You hear a bunch of consecutive,
Yeah, it looks like according to Megalomaniac's criminal record, he attended the Monument City Monumental University College place. He graduated from there. Not only did he graduate from there, he taught there for a while.
So what do you? So if he taught there or even graduated, what did he major in?
He majored in, oh my gosh, that's a big word. I don't think I could pronounce that, and I'm a robot.
Does it sound like it has anything to do with like nerd stuff, or did he graduate on like some kind of physical education thing?
Oh well, it says here that it's got to be a nerd thing. The science word is just too big, and then he's got a double major in dance.
Okay, I'm gonna go, you guys go check out the rest of the campus. I'm gonna go check out the university's football field.
Sports ball field.
Sports ball field.
Yeah, they have a sports ball field.
Yeah,
Call
I'm
it
gonna
sports
go.
ball.
I'm gonna go check that place out. You guys check out the other locations, the other the other buildings,
I'm gonna
and I'll open up the doors for everybody to get out.
look up Megalomaniac's like actual name and figure out like what he majored in, so I don't have to say out loud what the big science word is. I just have to read it, and then I know which building he probably taught that in.
Sure. You'll ask Beta to transfer you the data.
Yeah.
He transferred you. It's a big science word.
Oh.
It is like physio, amnio, mentology, mentological, antological, geological, anthropology,
Engineering,
ends.
physics.
Do you think the nerds were compensating for something?
And then he has a double major in dance.
Huh.
Should have stuck to the interpretive dance.
Theoretically, he also probably could have planned the bomb at wherever he did interpretive dance, because he's realizing how much of a waste of money of his own tuition it was.
I'm gonna check the dance hall.
I'm gonna check the football field or sports ball fields.
Sports ball.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check presumably the classrooms where he used to teach this, whatever
Okay.
this is.
Yeah, you go to the nerd hall.
Yeah.
Emery?
Is there a cafeteria?
Yeah.
Yeah? I'll go to the cafeteria.
Okay, you go to the cafeteria.
That seems like a play. Are there students?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah,
It's populated right now?
absolutely.
Is it a school day or weekend?
It is a school day.
Ooh, it's really
But
popular.
it's between periods, so it's kind of empty right now, other than the occasional passerby trying to get wherever they need to go. They're either late to class, they're going for research, or they just like hanging out.
But everyone else is currently in class, theoretically.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, to the cafeteria.
To the cafeteria, starting with Dick Bird.
Yeah.
You went to the nerd hall.
Yeah.
Bunch of nerdy people are doing nerdy things here.
All right.
What do you do?
I am looking for a bomb and half-assedly disguising it as looking around the building.
Okay, roll me a deception and a sense check.
Deception is an 11.
Okay.
Sense is a 20.
20. So you're trying to, nonchalantly look around, not bother the nerds doing anything. There are a couple times where, the nerdlings look over and are like, is that an IRS agent and with a bulletproof vest?
Yes.
What is he doing here? Government applications is in the other building. Oh, what a
Praising
doofus.
school.
What's this narc doing?
But you don't find any bombs, surprisingly. I mean, there's a lot of chemicals and a lot of electronics. And, if you combine the two, you could theoretically make a bomb. But with your sense check,
Yeah, it's not here.
it's not there. Yeah. This doesn't... You've dealt with Megalomaniac before.
Yeah.
This is not one of his smart bombs.
Oh,
This
okay.
is too smart for one of his smart bombs.
The closest student there, I would just turn to him as I'm leaving. Do you have government loans or do you have private loans?
Roll a D1, one a D4.
I'm trying to think of the words.
Apple.
No.
Barbecue.
FAFSA.
No.
Nelnet.
Well, you see, little IRS guy, I'm sponsored.
So you got a scholarship. Or is
I
that
don't
the first
pay any
scholarship?
loans. Mommy and Daddy are rich enough to give me the privilege of being at this stupid school.
Be prepared to be one of your only friends that makes it. I'm gonna leave.
Floats out nonchalantly.
That's what you think. Kudos if you understood that reference. All right. Yeah, no bomb in
Okay.
the nerd hall.
I'm gonna go check out the dorms then.
Okay, you head to the dorms. Plasma Snake.
Huh?
Where did you go? You went to
You dance
The
hall.
dance
Yeah.
hall.
the dance
The
hall.
liberal arts sector.
Yes.
Yeah, you go to the dance hall. You open it up. Are you sneaking in or are you just entering?
I'm going to sneak in,
Okay, roll
Yeah.
me a sneak.
of course.
You can do so with an advantage.
That's a natural 20.
Thank God. 'Cause the other one was a 3.
Yeah, so you sneak into the dance hall, and a bunch of dance students are practicing their dance. And it's just all over the place. The teacher's distracting them. More passion, more energy, more energy.
Rave is now an official.
That one could use
dance.
more footwork.
In fact, he stops one of the students and goes, "Stop, stop, stop! Your footwork, it's raw! It's raw! It needs to be more cooked!"
Okay.
But you, Tomas, you're perfect. Don't stop.
I'm gonna start looking.
Yeah, make me a sense check.
All right. And I'm gonna be looking in. Are there like bags like lining the area too?
Yeah, there's a couple of bags. There looks like to be a locker room in the back area that you would have snuck into as well.
I'm gonna check the locker room first.
Okay.
That's a 17.
Yeah, you look around, you check the lockers. Most of them are unlocked, and if they're not, you have means of looking into them. No bomb. In this dance hall.
I'm gonna start rifling through some of these bags. Actually, I'm going to. From dealing with Megalomaniac previously, do I know whether or not his smart bombs like vibrate or give off some like ticking noise or something like that?
Yeah, they tend to have some sort of indication that they are existing.
What's that
okay.
mysterious ticking noise?
All right, I'm gonna start pilfering through some of these bags.
Okay.
16.
Yeah, you pilfer through some bags. You find some, common things like deodorant, socks. Some uncommon things that I'm not going to describe because I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Jar of pickles.
Oh,
A bag of oregano.
Bag of oregano. A essay about cannibalism.
It was a PowerPoint.
Oh, okay.
A full printed out PowerPoint about cannibalism. Like, of all people. It's surprising he's still alive in 2083. But you don't find a bomb.
yeah. Okay, cool. I'm thinking of stopping the instructor and maybe interviewing them about Megalomaniac.
Okay,
I'm gonna do it.
you're gonna do it. Okay?
I'm gonna stop sneaking and just be
Yeah,
like,
you pop out of nowhere and you just boop boop. And then it's just like, oh, what? What is your passion?
gulp.
It's you for a loop there.
Gulp.
Did you work with Megalomaniac? Or what's his Christian
Civilian name.
His Christian name.
Yeah.
His
His
legal government
civilian
name.
name.
Yeah. Any one of those might work.
Joey Rigatoni.
Hey,
Phil.
Joey Rigatoni.
Lasagna.
Fill me up.
His government assigned name was Megan.
Megan?
Yeah.
What's his last name?
Sarah?
Why Sarah?
Wait, is it Tegan and Sarah?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
That's a band.
Oh, okay.
Did you ever work with Megan Sarah?
And it's spelled
No,
CR.
darling. He was never one of my students. He was one of my peers.
Who's your peer?
I just told you. Megan Sarah.
Oh, no, I understand. Sorry about that.
One of your peers?
Yeah, one of your peers? You were classmates?
Yes, darling.
Was he any good at dancing?
Absolutely. In fact, he won the competition for being a leader of this dance hall. And they were so kind to grant it to me.
I wonder why.
Yeah?
I wonder why he would plant bombs in here then.
You say that out loud?
Just committing to the bit.
Oh, darling, that man could plant bombs anywhere he liked.
Land a triple pirouette on me.
Anywhere. Like where?
Oh, darling, he had a particular fondness of our mascot. Meanwhile, this guy is still like,
He's starting
Total
to sound,
voguing.
yeah,
He's starting to sound more and more like Dr. Frankenfurter.
Thanks.
Great. Where can I find him?
Sports ball.
Sports ball. A literal Chad just comes in with like a football jersey and passes by the door. Sports ball. Walks away.
Of course. Why didn't I think
Definitely
that?
wasn't part of the conversation, but oddly timed. Well,
Great. Bye.
goodbye, darling. And if you'd like to have a dance
No.
with the master, oh,
Falls over, several students come by and catch him as part of the act.
all really well choreographed.
I'm walking out of this place now. I don't want to be here.
Bartholomew, you were sloppy. A little late on the footwork.
You must dance out of here.
There's a little hop, a little pep to my step.
Emery,
Yes.
you go to the cafeteria.
I go to the cafeteria.
It's filled with very generic, like,
People.
restaurants.
Restaurants.
Yeah.
Very
You know,
generic
like,
restaurants.
Taco ring.
like a mall.
High Path,
UNLV's
Dock of Tops.
We're doing this again?
What the opposite of subs was. Fuck.
combination.
Nobody is bitter from having gone to college in this game.
Combination pizza TP and taco ring.
Black and White Bear Express. You know,
Yeah.
generic
normal
restaurant
stuff.
places
Yeah, normal things.
that are sponsored as part of the college, and a couple of students.
Perfect. Yeah.
You know, having late food, or just chilling, just relaxing
Awesome.
before class or after
Yeah.
class.
There's that one dude with a longboard.
As there always is.
Yeah.
Yeah. There really always is. Yeah, so I'll go in. Just this old dude. I see anybody wearing a baseball cap?
How do you do, fellow kids?
A sports
It's
ball cap?
you. You're the one wearing sports
Yes,
ball
a
hat
sports ball
backwards.
cap.
Make a sense check.
My first roll. Let's see how this goes. Sense?
Sense.
Sense.
Apparently, you're the only one who's gonna have good rolls tonight, Sage.
Okay, that is going to be an 8 then, on a sense check.
An 8.
An 8.
With an 8, not really. You see a couple people with, you know, caps on.
Perfect. I'll walk up to him.
Things like,
It doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, you walk up to the first person. He has a Make Monument City Great Again.
It
process.
matters. It matters. Yeah. In fact, nope, we're not gonna go there. We're not gonna go there.
Sports ball team.
I'll look at him. I immediately go to the next person.
You find the fish love me, women fear me.
Why are you doing this?
No. Oh wait, no, yeah, that's right. That actually is that. Yeah, no, that's
Too
right.
late. Yep. It's too late.
Another kid, like right next to him, has a T-shirt that says "MILF." Man, I love fishing.
Just wait till you hear the next one.
Dilf. Dang, I love fishing.
All right, fuck it. I go to the next one.
Find a third person. It says Haktua.
Gadilf. God damn, I love
Sadly, no sports ball symbol on their heads. I'm sorry. You go up to a fourth person, and he's wearing a generic cap.
Yeah, cool.
Seems like he's a dance student on break.
Excuse me. I need your cap. I am part of the Super Pals.
Oh yeah, no cap.
Correct, I don't have a cap.
No, like you're born in the Super Pals, right? No cap.
Skibidi, Ohio.
Emery coming in
Correct.
with the Rizzler.
Oh, that's really sick. Hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, damn.
No, I'm really healthy. Could I borrow your hat, please?
Oh no, you can't borrow my hat.
Oh,
No, I need it for a skivity routine.
Yeah, I'll bring it right back.
No, I need it. We're literally doing the gritty on the ritty.
Sticking out your gap for the Rizzler.
I'm sorry.
I swear to God, if this ends up in a cringe compilation, I'm gonna be so pissed.
Why do you need my cap, old man?
I don't understand any of what you just said, but it's for a very super secret special mission. It'll be like 5 minutes, I promise.
Sure, I got an extra one. Here, you can have my cap.
Oh, thank you.
And I will put it on to the side.
I'll be right back.
It's a skibidi on the side. Skibidi on the side. Skibidi got no Riz.
So I'm gonna start going to each of the tables, regardless if there's people on them or not, or at them or not. And I'm going to very totally nonchalantly start looking under every single one of them, looking for any sign of a bomb.
Make a sense check.
Cool. 6 in total.
6.
In total.
No, nothing. Although a bunch of people are like weirded out that an old guy is like checking out the bottom of the tables.
Oh, hello, fellow kids.
You're so strong, you're just like lifting him up.
Yeah,
chucking him.
basically.
Oh, if that's the case, if anything, they're not weirded out. They're like impressed that this old guy is just literally lifting up. Not even like from the center. You are literally
Like from the
From the
edge.
edge.
like middle finger thumb lifting it up from the edge. You're like,
He's going beast mode.
Nothing there. Definitely nothing to worry about here. Nope. Oh, hello there. Yeah. Maybe under the cushions?
I'll lift up the entire seat. People will be on it. Just,
Nope, nothing there.
a couple of frat boys come to, hey, yo, geezer, you lift? How much you lifting?
I don't know, and I'll just
pick up another
it-
sofa with another like 2 or 3 people on it.
Take him on the frat boys, look underneath him, put him back down.
Oh my
Pick up a
god.
frat boy,
We gotta get
twist him
this
upside
guy at
down.
one of our frat parties. This guy could lift. Imagine the kegs.
Oh, did somebody say a frat party?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm in. You got music?
Oh yeah.
See, what the audience doesn't know right now is that Emery Gus, when he was a youngin', was a really hopping DJ.
Oh.
Yeah.
You're just playing some oldies 70s rap, just boom, dun, 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 dun.
Hey, sorry, have you guys seen any, or heard any, mysterious sounds or noises or seen anything that looks, I don't know, explosive?
Well, I don't know anything about that, oh geezer, but I've been hearing some weird shit around that mask, the statue of the hippo.
The statue of the hippo.
Yeah, our mascot by the sports ball arena.
Word.
Yeah, some guy was working on it, and there's been this odd ticking noise.
Whoa. Hey, is the frat party over there?
No.
Oh, can I get an invite for later? I gotta take care of a couple of things.
Yeah, what's your digital, man? We'll text you.
I'll pull out a flip phone.
You're a size 11.
Here, put it in. Put
Yeah,
in.
give me a moment. I don't think it's working.
what was that thing calling it? Like S something or whatever this, whatever.
Oh wait, no. It's a
Oh, you're talking about
Jitterbug.
the bump?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the Samsung thing.
Yeah, I feel like I was wondering if that's what he's trying to do to your flip phone.
He's just bump. No.
You gotta input on the buttons. That's a baby's game.
Hey, yo, Jeff, you got that old ass Bluetooth module? Oh yeah. Hold on, let me get it out of my pack.
I'm gonna start trying to find the spot in my phone where it says my phone number. You know how the old ones always have that?
Oh yeah.
I'm just, while they're doing their thing, I'm just gonna be like,
On top of that, your flip phone has
You're going through all
Yeah.
your apps. You're getting past your all those old man games.
Snake.
20 different Sudoku applications, crosswords, just tons of crossword puzzle games. Just
old man.
And your contacts fly through, and you're like, oh no, I'm already down here. I gotta keep going. I'll eventually reach the.
And if you enter this guy's name, and you're gonna have to do the multiple digit button press, like, okay, your name is.
No, Emery's not that old. He'd at least have T9.
Okay.
T9 entry. He's old. Not that old.
Okay.
All right, old man, I got the Bluetooth module. Hold on, activate the Bluetooth on your phone there.
How old is Emery? Like it's 28, 38. How does he still have a flip phone?
He's old.
I apparently have a USB drive in my finger.
Oh man, give me your phone.
Oh,
Give
yeah,
me your
yeah,
phone.
yeah,
I'll Ding. All right, you got my contact info.
Oh, word. Totally radical, bro. Thank you. I'll hit you later.
Yeah, we got you, old man. Bring the dicks.
The dicks.
The discs. The discs.
Ass.
But then he brings an alien. I brought the dicks. Hello. Just being held up by the scruff of his collar.
I brought the dicks. Hello, fellow humans.
I brought burgers.
It's a North scatter.
My God. Yeah. So after that, I will start heading to the hippo statue.
Okay. Hot Rod.
Yes. I will be driving initially around the parking lot of the of outside of the sports ball stadium, trying to get a suss out for if any of the cars might contain this smart bomb. Any kind of check, or do I just eventually figure out?
Make a sense check.
Okay, that's better. Sense 13.
13. You're like slowly driving by, and trying to move your mirror down so you can look under cars as you're passing by. Trying to be not completely nonchalant, but a little more subtle because you're a car.
Yep.
No bombs under cars, but as you're reaching the next parking lot up and passing by the hippo statue, that's the mascot of Monument City, Monumental College University.
Yeah.
You detect a beep. Beep.
I will cautiously approach it. I won't drive up onto the curb. I'll actually just get out of just transform back into humanoid form and just cautiously approach it. And do I see it attached anywhere?
No, but you hear it. Beep.
Okay. Beep. I'll take a pinky and a thumb and just try and call everybody. Hey guys, I think the bomb's at the hippo statue outside the stadium.
Already on
Dang
my
it,
way.
did I even answer the phone? I can't.
And that's where we're gonna end the first episode of the Super Pals finding the smart bombs of Megalomaniac. Oh,
We finally found one.
finally found one. Thank you for watching this episode of Indominant, a superhero tabletop RPG where you can make your own unique superhero. Be a hero and save the day. You can check the link in the description below.